technology demonstrator, plus innovations in autonomous formation flight and active motor control. In these areas and more, Sikorsky Innovations is leading the industry in differentiating technologies. So right now, here to take you through some of the achievements to date and to give you a look at what's coming is Sikorsky Innovations Director, Chris Van Buren.
Thank you. Thank you. Really a pleasure to be back after 1 year ago. I came to this community and talked about a new organization we had launched called Sikorsky Innovations. Today, I would like to give you an update on what we've done in our first year and what we're working on, and you'll see highlights of next year. Sikorsky Innovations, an agile, distributed group of experts like we saw in the X2 team that aggressively take on the toughest challenges in vertical flight. Highly empowered, small teams, extensive partnership with industry, academia, and they're given very challenging problems. Not the easy ones, the very hard ones. They work introduction of new technologies, processes, and products. This is all about leading. It's not waiting for someone to say, hey, I think I need something like an electric helicopter. Hey, I think I need a helicopter that flies twice as fast. It's creating what is possible, creating the future, leading, not waiting. You'll see game-changing technology here, whether it's X2, optionally piloted technology, or even electric flight, as examples of this kind of leading culture. And again, it's aggressive and sustained attacks on the toughest problems in vertical flight. We don't do this alone. We use a network of innovation companies around the nation, and over this last year, we've started to expand our global reach of innovation partners. We were pleased this year to add minority investments into like-minded small technology companies where we can invest in them, help them grow, while we help them achieve our goals. Could we run the video showing some of the highlights of innovations this year? For what an innovation project looks like. We'll talk about the launch of new products using X2 technology.
Yeah, I know.
Automated formation flight and optionally piloted flight, enabling Black Hawks to do missions by themselves. Aware and adaptive. Know where they are in space, know the threats, understand their health. Hostile fire detection has been fielded this year, and it is in operation in Afghanistan. Detects bullets in flight. Active rotor. It changes the shape of the rotor several times per revolution in the NASA 40x80 wind tunnel. Compromise of the advancing and retreating side of the blade for helicopters. All-electric flight, new exhaust systems on Black Hawk, low-altitude autonomous flight, and hub-mounted observers. There's some of the technologies we're working on, and now I'll walk you through some of those. Again, we have 3 focus areas. There's a lot we could do. We focus our projects in making aware and adaptive aircraft, very intelligent machines, optionally piloted aircraft that become so flexible they can fly with 2 crew, 1 crew, or no crew, and as we saw with X2, break through the speed barriers. Let me walk you through that. X2 is clearly the first, and I hope you saw Kevin's talk on the X2. Something you may not be aware of. The X2 team will be presenting to the 100th Annual Collier Award Committee on March 14th as a nominee for the most significant achievement in aerospace in the United States in 2010. The 100th annual Collier Committee will include aerospace leaders such as Neil Armstrong on the committee. I'd like to congratulate the team, the pilot, the chief engineer, program manager, crew chief for their accomplishments and wish them luck for the Collier. Imagine what that would mean to the rotorcraft industry to win the 100th Collier. Good luck, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Their success has opened up a new range of product options for Sikorsky. Imagine now the thinking of what is the first product to use this technology. We're looking at options all the way from light commercial, all the way up through heavy attack, Black Hawk replacement type aircraft. Let me show you a video of some of the applications we're considering. UAVs, highly agile, high-speed, responsive. The medevac role, highly responsive. Search and rescue, 4 times the search area, given double the speed in a golden hour. Fly out to an oil rig at the edge of the continental shelf in 1 hour, 250 miles out. Special operations assault, low acoustic signature, high speed, high maneuverability, incredible element of surprise. Naval applications, extending Sikorsky's tradition of naval aircraft, and again, it's about rapid response time. You have a V-22 Escort, V-22 Pier speed, and the ability to mix it up on the ground. Anti-submarine warfare, medevac, expand the ability to save lives. Tremendous opportunities open to us. We've gone through the thinking, we've talked with a lot of you on what are the right first applications of this technology. And you perhaps saw the announcement with the launch of the S-97 Raider. Sikorsky, together with about 20 industry partners, have launched the design and build of 2 S-97 Raider aircraft. For those of you who are aerospace fans, that is the X-plane that validated the physics behind X2. This is the Y-plane that will demonstrate the mission suitability and value. Pilot and co-pilot up front, 6 troops in the back, armed aerial scout functionality. Will hover at double the altitude of helicopters today, fly at double the speed of the helicopters currently executing the mission, and will have nearly double the maneuverability at airspeed and altitude of today's helicopter. Absolutely game-changing technology. So that's the first application for X2, and the team has created that potential for us. If I could get next slide. Let me move to the next. The self-actualized, aware, and adaptive helicopter, making it smart, aware, and adaptive. Apply some of the principles of the X2 team to some other projects. Sikorsky Aircraft spent as much on fleet analytic technology last year as we did on X2 technology. This is the math that takes data off the sensors spread throughout the S-92 helicopter to detect days, at times weeks, before a part fails, detect that an emerging failure is coming and make a proactive phone call to the operator. Your tail drive shaft hanger bearing is starting to deviate from your peer fleet. We see this decay going for the next 2 weeks. You're fine and authorized to fly. The part is on its way. Incorporate it in your scheduled maintenance. So this is proactive reaching out. And I encourage you to go to our SAS display and view the analytics and technology display that's over there. Again, we think to our customers, this is as important, a major thrust to us in making our aircraft available and very affordable to fly. Another version of awareness and adaptability is our active rotor program. If I could get the slide, please. Making a rotor blade adapt and change its shape several times per revolution to maximize its performance and flexibility. Sergey talked about coming up on barriers. The aerodynamic technology in the S76D main rotor and tail rotor is absolutely state-of-the-art in terms of figure of merit and noise signature. The 76D is the lowest noise aircraft above 4,000 kilograms. So the passive technology there, the advanced anhedral tips on the 92, we've matured the passive technology, starting to come up on limits. Now, changing the shape of the blade so it's different on the advancing side than the retreating side is the next game changer. We have several initiatives going on to mature this technology to enable the operator to pick modes, fly for minimum vibration, fly for max maneuverability, for example. We've demonstrated this technology in full scale. Last year when I talked to you, we were talking about it. This year we've completed the world stand testing. And the big challenge here is have a high authority flap device that operates in the 600G rotating environment. Very difficult environment. Our world testing validated that, and now we've just completed full-scale wind tunnel testing in the NASA 40x80 wind tunnel and demonstrated significant reductions beyond what's possible with passive technology in both acoustics and vibration. And significant meaning more than 50%, enormous numbers. The picture on the lower right, the analytics and instrumentation behind a test like this, we call absolutely a geek stream. The first technology you're going to see into our commercial products is probably a hub-mounted active vibration absorber. It's a device that would replace the passive bifilar you see on the top of several of our products with an active computer-controlled vibration suppression device. This device reduces drag, increases performance, and cuts the vibration significantly. The blue bars are vertical vibration in different locations without the suppressor device active. We flip the switch, the software does its optimization, and I apologize for the lack of resolution, but you can barely see the vibration. We are literally on a trajectory to have a zero vibration helicopter using this active type technology. We hope to fly that towards the end of this year, early next year. Slide, please. Optionally piloted aircraft. Imagine the flexibility flying with 2 crew, 1 crew, no crew. Remember Chernobyl nuclear disaster? Helicopters responded, heroes crewed helicopters and dropped concrete into the reactor. Very few of those flight crews survived, right? Most perished executing the mission. Shame on all of us. Fly-by-wire technology we're putting in nearly all of our products enables us to have that helicopter execute the mission by itself, and we're starting to demonstrate in our labs and in flight the technologies to make that possible. Slide. Slide, please. This year we demonstrated automated formation flight. We had 2 Blackhawks take off. The trail Blackhawk selected the Blackhawk in front of it, linked a camera system to the fly-by-wire flight control computer, and said, follow him. I have other mission planning tasks I want to do while the fleet moves in, or I want one flight crew to move several aircraft. Game-changing technology, enabling the beginning of formation flight, enabling extensions of automated in-flight refueling, beginning the smart, intelligent, adaptive, autonomous helicopter. Soon you're going to see Blackhawks flying cargo missions in an optionally piloted mode under the control of operators on the ground. We've almost view it as maybe turning the helicopter into an iPad, right? And we are demonstrating, we have technology programs going on in autonomy and aware and adaptive aircraft, working on making each of these applications come to reality. Automatic crane modes, automatic mission planning, cargo movement, in-flight automatic refueling, automated formation flight you saw. Later this year, we're going to demonstrate using the sandblaster technology we talked about last year, automated zero-zero landing capability. Whisper modes, flying for minimum cost using the active rotor technology. We're really turning the platform into a highly software-controlled, agile, adaptive machine. Now let's go way out of the box. Imagine an all-electric helicopter. Sounds absolutely audacious, and it is, and that's why we're working on it. Our vision in Project Firefly, the build is complete and the systems are in test. Simple, quiet, smooth, green flight. Very difficult technical challenges, but look at what it does to the helicopter. These are the parts we took off of a great S-300 helicopter. Everything that leaks, everything, most of the things that shake, most of the things that make lots of noise, exhaust baffles, TBO parts, are left on the ground, and we have a solid state controlled lithium ion battery running an electric motor. The change in reliability, internal acoustics, internal vibration, and just the ride experience, and we think operating cost, is going to be absolutely game changing. Now, how long can we fly? 15 minutes. Only 15 minutes. Not terribly useful. Van Buiten, why on earth is Sikorsky Innovations working on something that can only fly 15 minutes? Because we take on the toughest challenges in vertical flight. We are going to grow this 15 minutes into a very useful hour-plus type capability. Here's the energy balance of nearly every helicopter in this room, whether they have a turbine or a reciprocating engine. Most of the fuel our operators buy at $5 or $6 a gallon goes in, is burned in an engine. 64% of it goes off board in heat and noise. Zero value to the operator. In fact, to many of our operators, negative value. That's the typical energy balance. There's an infrared picture of a great S-300 helicopter. It's just the efficiency of the aircraft we have today. Let me show you what that balance looks like in electric flight. 76% of the onboard energy goes to where you want it, goes to the shaft. It's useful. And look at that. Heat loss, right, which is very meaningful to some of our customers in a military application, dramatically reduced. So in terms of efficiency in green, of course it would be zero emissions, but the net energy balance is 2x game-changing change in efficiency from a turbine or a reciprocating helicopter. So here's the tough problem. The original VS-300 went from those early flights, wobbly and growing and changing, to eventually setting the world record at 1 hour and 20 minutes back in the day. We've set the challenge to the Firefly team, including our industry partners, ensuring the battery technology, leveraging billions of dollars of automobile battery development, to reproduce this flight with the electric helicopter with 1 hour, 20-minute endurance. At that point, we think we have an absolutely very relevant product with the electric helicopter. Here's the vision. Leave the edge of the Grand Canyon, pilot and a co-pilot, fly over the edge, no headphones on their heads, no microphones, not required. They're no longer sitting in front of a screaming Lycoming engine. There's the hum of an electric motor behind them. Leave the edge of the canyon and hear the person in the passenger seat say, wow. Right? Fly over the canyon, enjoying smooth, quiet flight, land back on the canyon's edge, having left nothing behind. Zero emissions, significantly reduced acoustic signature, a whole new experience for vertical flight. Fly over a city and have no one look up. Combine the propulsion technology with some of the other acoustic technology, fly over the city, no one looks up. It will enable helicopters to operate in your backyard because we'll change the fundamental characteristics and eliminate many of the annoyances they have today. So that's the vision. That's 1 year into Sikorsky Innovations. X2, 250 knots. Launch of the Raider product. The beginning of demonstrating optionally piloted flight. Moving from state-of-the-art passive technology to active computer-controlled devices for vibration control and blade shape, and potentially even the beginning of the electric helicopter. I look forward to next year, updating you on what we've accomplished and continuing to share with you our vision for the future of vertical flight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now, I hope you'll agree that Sikorsky Innovations is an organization that is doing some very exciting work, charting a course for amazing aviation technologies and delivering a revolution in innovation. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Before you head off into the rest of our exhibit, we are going to have a drawing for that beautiful wooden helicopter model. So if you haven't already, please turn in your survey card. Now, while we're still collecting the last of those cards, we wanted to quickly tell you about a fun activity that we have going on here in the booth. It is sponsored by Sikorsky and by a wonderful organization that is helping children, the Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children. The activity? Building these. Only takes a few minutes to build a stuffed animal that's going to be donated to children in the hospital. Now, you can build all kinds of different animals. I think we've got bunnies and penguins, dogs. You can then choose an outfit for your animal. You can even put a message on the t-shirt that your stuffed animal will wear. Now, here to say a few words about the hospital is Jeff Bodell, Vice President of the Arnold Palmer Medical Center Foundation. I'm going to give you this.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Tough to follow the innovation, talking about the world's fastest helicopter. Now we're talking about building bears. So we appreciate being a part of this. You know, in Orlando, there's a great aviator. Back in 1976, he piloted a Learjet around the world, Denver to Denver, in 56 hours. That set a world record at the time. He's also flown helicopters. He's been a pilot for 50 years. And that pilot has also won 92 golf tournaments around the country, around the world, excuse me, 8 major championships, and his name is Arnold Palmer. I bet you didn't know that about Arnold Palmer, that he was such a great pilot. About 25 years ago, as Orlando was becoming a real city, not just a sleepy railroad town at the end of the railroad line on the East Coast, but as Walt Disney and all the great theme parks came about, Orlando wanted a children's hospital. And they reached out to the man who was really Orlando's first celebrity. Arnold Palmer has been here since the 1970s. And they reached out and they said, Mr. Palmer, we have a need for kids in Central Florida, not just kids that live here, but kids that travel to Central Florida. We have a need, and we need to fill that need. And Mr. Palmer stepped up and filled that need. And 21 years ago, we opened up Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children right in downtown Orlando, about 10 miles to the north of here. So we are grateful for all the partners in the life of that hospital that have stepped up and have done everything from major donations to great gifts of bears and stuffed animals that go a huge way in the care of our children that now not just come from greater Orlando, but truly come from all over the world to seek out our services. Arnold Palmer Hospital is now ranked among the top children's hospitals in the country by U.S. News and World Report. Some of our services are truly tops in the world. And so to have a great company like Sikorsky Aircraft, the great history, the great legacy that the Sikorsky family has had on this industry that you all know and love, it's just an absolute honor to be here. And something as so small as a bear goes a very, very long way. So we appreciate Sikorsky, and we appreciate all of you who will take 5 minutes to go over, decorate one of these bears, put a special note, put a special get well wish. The good friends Sikorsky are coming over on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week to deliver them, and they'll be put to good use, and we really appreciate the time. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I did promise we're going to have a quick drawing for all of you that's been sticking around for a little while for one of those model helicopters. I guess the last few, and if you'd like to be in the drawing, we are going to have another event here in just about 10 minutes, so you can come to our next event and get into our drawing once again. All right, please see Jerry. Hold your hand up, Jerry, if you are Ken Smith from Superior Field Nation, I believe it says. Ken Smith, you have to be here to win. All right, Ken's not here. Come and see Jerry if your name is Anna Sardonin. Anna Sardonin. All right, let's try one more time. Captain Sammy, I can't read this, Asbury, Camerton Hospital, Camerton Helicopters. Is that you? Yeah. Jerry will take care of it. Give him a round of applause right here. Nicely done. All right, please come on back in about 10 minutes for our next event. Thank you very much. Have a great day.